I'm a smartwatch quite so much, but it still looks like a watch and still is a smartwatch. More to the point, you can do all the cool things you can do on this on one of these. Now, holding them side by side, you should be able to make out what we mean. Nice demure black smartwatch against this relatively shiny, look at me, attention grabbing, still attractive, don't get us wrong, looking metal device. Up at the top is also a camera and a infrared blaster on the Gear 2, whereas the Gear 2 Neo has a very nice demure infrared blaster, which looks a lot neater. As far as other design highlights go, you've got a very complementary strap, which should be able to make out has patterning on it, which sits very nicely against a matte plastic body. On the flip side is a heart rate monitor and something you can attach a charging plate to. So the charging plate just clips on the back. It has USB functionality to charge the body of your device. And closing all that up, below the screen you can see a button which is customizable. It normally takes you home, in fact it always takes you home, but a double tap of it will also activate something special. So for example, find your device if you've lost it. If we were to switch the actual Gear 2 Neo off, pick up and a wrist turn will actually wake the screen up, and you can also change how long it stays awake for. Really nice functionality to look at, and also, like we said, the design, physical and UI complement one another perfectly. Swiping through that UI, and you can see we've got a horizontal menu system right here. If we access our clock, you can change this quite extensively, and if we tap through on key elements within our clock, we can also see it gives us some more information about what we have, which is the weather right now. We can change the actual clock UI by jumping into our settings, tapping through on clock, and we can see we've got weather, we have a predefined range of clocks, and we've got some clocks that we can download ourselves. If we go the other way, we can see some of the more traditional clocks, which include a pedometer clock, a dual clock, and a regular clock with no functionality whatsoever. You can also change your wallpaper here, notifications, customize your sounds display and Bluetooth settings, as well as change what a double press of the button does. Privacy lock, so that will activate a code lock on your phone whenever the device isn't in range of your Gear 2 Neo. And you can also reset your gear and tweak your profile. Swiping back, we can pull down from the top in any menu and it will take us to our prior menu. Swiping across, we can see you've got a watch on remote. That's a TV remote control. We've got this set up for our TV and we use it virtually every time we watch a TV. Really handy, and you can set up add devices very simply as well. Swiping down, it controls your music player, whether that's Spotify or your pre-loaded music player, not to mention add a voice memo. And finally, your exercise functions, well, almost finally. You've got your pedometer, which activates a step counter on here. Exercise, if we tap through on that, will activate the GPS on your smartphone and will pull information through to S Health. And finally, in this menu, you've got that heart rate monitor. It really is hit and miss to the point where, like we said, Samsung, please, in future, we don't need a heart rate monitor on here. We just rather the device works flawlessly in every area, which this does, save for that heart rate monitor. Well, it almost does. You get what we're saying. You can also see your notifications on here really comfortably, and access call logs, dial your number through on here, and access your contacts. If you've got a notification that's a text message, you can even reply to it with a installed message, or you can customize your text templates as well. So all in all, the actual UI is a breeze to get your head around, and it's really operable with one finger or thumb while the device is on a wrist. So we're really happy with the fact that Samsung has improved the user interface and the functionality so much over the original Gear, while managing to still keep the price point down. If we pull our phone into frame, another area they've improved things is in the actual application that pairs with it. You can see you've got Gear Manager. It looks a whole lot nicer. You can customize your home screen, be it with an image or indeed a single color or pre-installed wallpaper, and you can access additional clocks that you can download through the Google Play Store, through the Samsung App World. Jumping out of that, you've also got S Health tapping through. You can see you can check your sleep we didn't mention, as we will in a second, the applications in here. Sleep is one of those apps, so it can tell you how much of your sleep time you spend static. You've also got pedometer syncing, as well as exercise tracking syncing and heart rate monitor syncing. Naturally, there is also a heart rate monitor on the S5, so that will perhaps be more use to you if you've got an S4 or Note 3 or something like that. You've also got My Apps. These are pre-installed applications and applications that you have downloaded, and you can also find more through the Samsung App Store. Find My Gear will activate a beep and a flash on your gear, as you saw there, just in case you should lose it. And obviously you have your settings. Jumping through settings, and you can see auto lock, wake up gesture. It's already stuff that we've spoken about before, but it's also nice and customizable. We didn't mention notifications, and this is a real highlight. Like we said, you can have notifications not just from Samsung applications, but also from third-party applications as well, which makes the utility on this thing absolutely phenomenal for the price. So all in all, the actual applications on here aren't half bad either, and a lot of them are free. You can see you are not going to be able to access all the apps you could from the original Gear, but Samsung is building up the portfolio of apps with the support of app developers. Every day we're seeing new apps on the application store. Sleep will let you, like we said, track your sleep. We've got our Feedly app, for example, that we installed. Flappy Spaghetti, it's a Flappy Bird's game that's just super simple and pretty mind-numbing and difficult, but at the same time you get the idea of the scope of applications that you can have on here. We've got a calculator. There are also naturally pre-installed applications as well. You've got your email client, Find My Device, you've got a gallery, media controller, a lot of the apps which we saw prior, messages, right through to scheduler and stopwatch, which we didn't see up there, as well as the timer. So generally speaking, it's slightly convoluted insofar as what is available in the applications tray and what is available in the main home screen system is confused, but that's pretty much our only downside when it comes to the UI. There isn't really anything out there that does this job better, at least not with that touch interaction. Hopefully you've enjoyed our review. We really do like the Gear 2, and yeah, we think it strikes the balance of cost effectiveness and performance, and it's the only real smartwatch